It had been months. No word, not a glance, not a single attempt to reach out. I had walked away from everything, and the silence was deafening. No goodbye, no note, not even a final glance back at the life we once shared. The woman I loved, the woman I married, had broken me in a way I could never have imagined. It wasn't some dramatic Hollywood moment. There were no fiery confrontations or explosive arguments where you catch them red-handed. No, it was the little things, the coldness in her touch, the long nights spent at the office, the phone always face down, always silent. I had noticed, but I brushed it off. I told myself I was overthinking it. Until that one night, I had just come back from a long, exhausting day. My mind scattered with thoughts of work, bills, and everything that felt too much to handle. I collapsed into the couch, but my hand instinctively reached for my phone, and then it hit me. The message, it wasn't angry or accusatory. It didn't need to be. The words hit like a punch to my gut, sinking deep into my chest, choking the air from my lungs. I didn't even need to read it again to understand what had happened. Everything I thought I knew about us shattered in that moment. There were no screams, no tears, just silence. I couldn't stay. There was no point anymore. When someone betrays you like that, it's not about understanding their reasons. It's about accepting the fact that they've chosen something or someone else. And I couldn't stay in a life where I wasn't the choice. The days after were a blur. I didn't want to deal with anything or anyone. I wanted to forget, to shut the world out. Friends reached out. Family urged me to take a breath, to get out, to heal. But I couldn't. I felt hollow. The betrayal ate at me, gnawed at me from the inside. I didn't want to admit it, but it was always there, waiting. I moved into a small apartment far from the life I once knew. I tried to rebuild, tried to find a sense of peace in the chaos. But it wasn't easy. The nights were the hardest. The silence of the apartment was deafening. Every empty space a reminder of the void she had left behind. I kept telling myself that she made her choice, that she crossed a line and there was no going back. But in the quiet moments, the loneliness crept in, and I wondered, was she feeling the same? Did she miss me? I reminded myself again. She made her choice. She left me behind. Then, 6 months later, the message came. Her name flashed across my phone. My heart stopped. I froze. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. A rush of emotions flooded me. Anger, confusion, disbelief. What could she possibly want now, after everything? I debated blocking her, ignoring her completely. But a part of me, a part one hated to admit, wanted to know, needed to know what she had to say. I agreed to meet her. The same cafe we used to go to years ago. The place where we had shared so many moments. It was one of the few places that hadn't become a painful reminder. I arrived early, my hands trembling as I sat at a table in the back corner, my mind racing, a whirlwind of thoughts. And then she walked in. She looked the same, but not quite. Her hair was shorter, and there were subtle signs of exhaustion under her eyes. It was as if she had aged 5 years in the months we had been apart. When she saw me, her eyes welled up, and for a moment she stood there unsure whether to come closer. But she did. She sat down, her voice barely a whisper. "Thank you for meeting me," she said. I didn't respond immediately. I just stared at her, trying to process the moment. I had imagined this encounter so many times, but now that it was real, the words wouldn't come. The hurt was still there, raw and fresh. She spoke again, her voice trembling. "I've missed you. I know what I did was wrong, and I regret everything." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe that the woman sitting across from me was the same one I once loved, the woman who had meant the world to me. But as I looked at her, vulnerable and broken, something inside me told me she wasn't the same. She couldn't be. "I never meant for it to happen," she said, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I thought I could handle it. I thought I could keep both of you in my life. But when I lost you, I realized how much you meant to me." The words hit me, but not the way I had imagined. They didn't break my heart. They didn't make me feel anything but cold. I swallowed hard, my voice steady but cold. "What is this? Is this about you wanting me back? Or is this about realizing you lost your safety net?" Her face fell. and for the first time, I saw the truth in her eyes. She didn't miss me. She missed the way I made her feel. She missed the comfort, the security I had provided, the life she thought she had with me. She didn't come back because she couldn't live without me. She came back because her backup plan had failed her. Her new life hadn't turned out the way she hoped, and now she wanted to make sure I was still an option. I stood up, feeling the weight of the realization settle over me. The clarity was overwhelming. "I think you should go," I said, my voice firm. She didn't argue. She didn't try to convince me otherwise. She just nodded, her face a mask of disappointment and regret. Then she left. I stayed behind, watching her walk away. The weight of that moment was heavier than anything I had felt in months. But as I walked away from the cafe, something strange happened. A sense of peace washed over me. I had done the right thing. I had walked away. But here's the twist, the part one didn't expect. As I reached my car, I glanced at my phone. Another message. It was from her. This time, it wasn't the usual "I miss you" message. It wasn't about regret. It wasn't an attempt to fix anything. No, this message was different. "I didn't just want you back because I made a mistake," she wrote. "I wanted you back because I realized something about myself. I've been using people, making them feel needed to fill the emptiness inside me. But you, what I had with you, was real. I finally understand that now, and I'm sorry. More than you'll ever know." I stared at the words. They weren't an apology for what she had done to me. They weren't an attempt to fix things. No, this was her realizing that she had been broken too, that her regret wasn't just about me. It was about losing the one thing that had ever made her feel whole. In that moment, I understood something important. Sometimes, the hardest thing to accept is that someone has to go through their own pain to finally realize the value of what they had. But for both of us, it was too late. I deleted the message, not because I didn't care, but because I had finally learned something about myself too. The past was behind me. Her regret didn't change anything. I wasn't going to wait around for someone who only understood my worth after they lost me. I had walked away from everything once. Now I was walking away from her again, this time for good. If you're waiting for someone to realize what they've lost, stop. If they ever come back, remember this. They don't miss you. They miss the way you made them feel. And that, my friend, isn't love. It's regret.